and it's staffed 24 hours a day. If they decide that they would need treatment after calling the crisis line, then they will refer them to the local center.
Exactly.
We provide 3 free services, so that a victim walking in the door doesn't have to have a way of paying for those first 3 visits, and then after that it's set up based on their income or if they've got insurance or medical card or whatever.
Now, Jennifer, you being the educator, educate us. What's some things that you teach people or teach the students that, just teach us for a little bit?
Well, the biggest subject that we have going on right now, and what I'm asked to talk about in the schools most of the time, is bullying. And what people need to know about that is that bullying doesn't have anything to do with whether you're male or female, how much money you have, none of those things. It can happen to anybody at any time.
Exactly.
And that really what we're trying to encourage is that when you see this happening to someone else, of course, if it's happening to you, we want you to tell. But if it's happening to somebody else, it is possible for them to also stand up for somebody else.
Amen. That's right. What is better ways that people can protect themselves? Like just people in general.
We talk a lot about with the students about internet safety and those kinds of things. We make sure that they understand that just because somebody talks to you, that doesn't mean that you know them.
Exactly.
And that we have to be very careful. We also have to be careful with our cell phones and the media that we have, because a lot of that is going to give out a lot of personal information and information that someone could find them if they wanted to. We don't want to scare anybody. The internet, all those things are fabulous. We love them. I love technology. It's great. But we need for them, they're so smart. The students are so smart. And a lot of times their parents don't know as much about their phones or their Xbox Lives or those kinds of things. They don't know as much about that, or even their computers, that we need for them to be safe. We need for them to not talk to people. And as parents, we have to pay attention to what our kids are doing.
Exactly. And this is dangerous times. I mean, it's just everywhere. You hear these horror stories all the time. People being abused, people being raped, mistreated, and all these things. It's just heartbreaking a lot of times. You see these youth. What age definition do you work with?
I will work with all the school groups.
Okay.
The bullying, really, the youngest group that I've worked with so far on bullying has been preschool.
Oh.
We are already talking about what's a nice thing to say and what's not a nice thing to say.
Exactly.
And then it's right on up, because we're finding that we're losing a lot of our kids to suicide and those kinds of things because these kids are being bullied in school.
Exactly, and I've seen that before too. What are ways that people can get involved with you all and support you all?
Well, in March, we are having March is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and we are having a 5K race, basically to raise awareness that sexual assault happens to anybody. It can happen to a male, female, young, old. It really affects everybody, and even if it doesn't affect you directly, it affects someone that you know, unfortunately. So we are having a 5K. It will raise money to support some of the things that we do in the community, and it's in Corbin. It starts at the gazebo, and it will be on March 24th at 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Okay. Now, give me an example of some of the things that you deal with on a daily basis. I mean, do you get a lot of calls? Do you go to see a lot of people?
The number of calls we get really varies a lot. Sometimes we can go for a long period of time without any calls, and then sometimes we have 2 in the same day.
Right.
As far as therapy, we have Cumberland River covers an 8-county region, and we have therapists in nearly every office that we have that are paid from the grant to see victims of sexual assault.
Right.
And they may see one day, and they may go a week and not see another one, but then they may have 2 or 3 in the same day also.
Right.
So it just really varies a lot. the statistics show us that 1 in 4 and 1 in 6 females and males will be sexually abused before the age of 18. So we feel like it's really important to get those statistics out there because people don't always believe that it happens or it will happen to somebody that they know. But if you look in a room and you see that many people, you can tell that somebody in there has been affected in some way by it.
And the aftermath is another thing to deal with because people just feel totally distraught and totally at the end of hope, and you all are bringing hope and encouragement to them, and that's a great work. It really is, because a lot of people just need encouraged because, you know, go through such a thing as that, oh, it just leaves scars.
Well, the research shows that being believed is the most important factor in healing.
Right.
So that shows how important that first person that you tell does believe you, because there are some people that tell and they're not believed. So when they come in for counseling or they call the crisis line or Alicia shows up at the hospital and, you know, she believes, then that's the most important thing in healing.
Right.